Today, we're going to talk about something that maybe you've gone through. I know I've just gone through one over the last few years, but it's divorce. It's never a fun subject. It's never something that people plan out for or things like that. And it can cause a lot of tension and emotions and a lot of different things going on. But there are some things that you've got to focus on. And we're going to talk about that today as you are going through it, or if you've just wrapped up a divorce, or maybe you're still in the first few months and it seems like you're just in this dark storm called life and you don't really know what to do. So we're going to give you 5 action steps to kind of take to kind of focus on to get in a better space, financially, mentally, and everything else. So the first thing obviously is looking at the financial separation. Okay. And there's a lot of different aspects on this. Maybe you had a house, you sold it, you split the proceeds or whatever the case may be. Maybe you had some joint debts. Hopefully, if you had cash from the sale of your house, you use that to pay off all the joint debts. So that way everybody can start off with a clean slate. But, again, there's a lot more to that financial side than really just kind of selling stuff and moving on. Your credit's kind of interwoven as well. And that's something to kind of think about. How do you get rid of that stuff? Even though the credit cards are paid off, it may be a situation where they're still on the account. So you want to check each of your credit cards, and even that card that you may think is yours, maybe your spouse or ex-spouse used that at one point in time and then they became an approved signer, an approved user on that account. So you want to make sure you remove them. And if you can't remove them and you make the decision to close your account, you want to make sure you're keeping track of your credit card score, right? Use Credit Karma, or I use Capital One's. I forget the name of the app, but I love it. Something to keep track of your score, because if you close accounts, that's obviously going to impact your credit score negatively. So be aware of that, because you may want to buy a house or a car in the next hot little minute, or get approved for an apartment or something like that. So that's all kind of playing together. But you want to make sure all that's happening. The other big thing I see that people overlook are the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries on any life insurance, any 401ks that may be around, or anything, any kind of money accounts or things like that. You want to make sure that you go ahead and change them to your children, the trust, or whatever you want to do. If you have no children, your parents or siblings or whatever the case may be. But you want to make sure that you're changing that stuff, because I have heard stories where somebody got a divorce. They had $250,000 in life insurance. This is a true story. Not one of my clients, but an attorney that I work with. They shared the story, and the gentleman forgot to change his beneficiary. And 20 years later, after he had already remarried, he passed away, and his current wife didn't get any of the proceeds because he forgot to change his beneficiary. That's a worst case scenario, but that just stresses why it's so important. Also, any vehicles or jointly owned property, make sure you discuss all that and get that off of your name or into your name only, or whatever the case may be. But that's really, kind of the high level on the financial side. And the number one step you need to take is get a spending plan in place. We've partnered with moneypatrol.com. We don't get any money or anything like that. We're not an affiliate. They're just a great company, a great service, and I believe in what they're doing. Go to moneypatrol.com. They've got a free software you can use. And if you want to upgrade, it's very inexpensive to upgrade that as well. But again, it's one of those things that you need to get your budget in place, because things change. Your finances have changed. Your income level has probably changed significantly. And so you need to be able to account for every penny.